Never in my wildest dreams I thought that Heimdall would be an annoying defender to deal with. I mean, he has some of his nuisances, but he's still good. He's not that difficult, just you have to take care about SP1 and stay away from SP2. But in Autumn and Agony Week 4, he becomes an annoying, heavy hitting AI nightmare. This is MCOC Noob, and thanks for joining in the channel. And I'm going to discuss all the strategy, tips, and tricks to get through this a very frustrating and annoying fight. Now picture this, you're having a great day, you're feeling unstoppable, nothing can go wrong. You turn on the game and bam, Heimdall slams you in with unstoppable heavies, obnoxious nodes, and also enough AI nonsense to make you want to throw your phone. But don't worry, I'm here, let's jump into it. Now, there are plenty of nodes here, but because Mystic and 2020 objective is the first one and is going to be a cheese, I am just going to discuss the cheese element of it first. So once you go and you filter Mystic champions with 2020, you get 5 to 6 options. The best options are going to be your Dragon Man, Sorcerer Supreme, and also Sasquatch. But I would suggest if you have a Dragon Man, bring him. If you have a Sorcerer Supreme, bring her. Because they are the best options. Reason, they have unstoppable. Now what happens, whenever you will attack Heimdall, he will not take any damage, and you will notice there is a purple battery icon that will gain charges. Now this, all the damage is being stored, and that damage is dealt 200% to Heimdall when you knock him down, and if Heimdall manages to knock you down, you are going to take 100% of that damage. But the difficult part here that there is another node. If you look at the unstoppable icon, that is going to prevent Heimdall from being knocked down at the end of the last hit of SP1, SP2 or heavy attack. You have to interrupt Heimdall's heavy, and that is the most difficult element of this fight. But Dragon Man and Sorcerer Supreme, they just ignore that because they have slow. So all I need to do with Dragon Man is just to lazily put my 5-hit combos in and throw my SP1, and at the end of SP1 the slow will be activated. I don't need to worry about that brace node at all. So remember this, and also one more node, there is going to be Matador, so you will only gain a bar of power when Heimdall will use a special attack. And Heimdall is going to be unstoppable when he's using a heavy, but Dragon Man is going to bypass all of that. As you see, it's a very fun and simple fight with Heimdall. Against Heimdall with Dragon Man. Sorcerer Supreme is going to be similar. As long as you will have the slow up, you should be having a lot of fun. But remember that you have to keep you have to keep Dragon Man to an SP1 spam. As soon as you make a mistake like this and you get to an SP2, he is going to go bonkers. So again, going back, playing slow, throwing my SP1, and again he goes down, the slow is there, and just like that, this is a cheese option for the Mystic and 2020 year objective. Now that was the easy part. The tough fight starts right now, because now you don't have that option of slow. So how do you deal with this? Now he's going to get really annoying, so I really would like you to concentrate here, because this is where you will learn the fight. So first things first, do not push Heimdall to an SP2. If you're going to use a Cosmic and Metal, I'm going to give you quite a few options, but in my opinion, I like Angela for one of two reasons. One, she can bypass the auto block very easily, and second, those extra Furies, they really help for that extra damage and ramp up the battery faster. The more battery charges, the more damage you will do when you knock Heimdall down. So try to bring in champions that have extra Furies for that modified extra damage, so you can charge the battery faster. So I am talking about your Gamora, that can also work. Any Cosmic champion that is metal, has extra Furies, can work. Odin will also be a really great option. So once we have that out of the way, so we're going to bait the SP1 and keep an eye out on that brace node. Now I am trying to get that battery charged up. For me, what I try to do is to get 150 battery charged up before I try to knock Heimdall down. You will really need to practice how to evade his heavy attack. There are 3 instances that you have to evade, but I like to evade 4 times because that's just I know how to deal with that heavy attack. So right there, and right at the end of heavy attack, you have to interrupt it so you can remove that brace node. So there are two ways you can deal damage. One is you interrupt the heavy attack, remove the brace node, and you knock him down with a special attack or with a special attack. Remember, heavy attacks will not work, they will not drain the battery, and they will not do any extra damage to Heimdall. So just be careful about that. Another way that I found out that works really well, where you don't have to worry about the unstoppable brace node, is just use special 3s. Special 3s work really well. So right here, I'm at special 3. I can just use an SP3 now, and at the end that will knock down Heimdall and still drain the battery to 0 and do damage. So if nothing else works out for you, if the fight is frustrating, just simply go for SP3s with that battery and you should be good. But you still need to learn how to evade that heavy attack, because Heimdall's AI is very annoying to deal with. He just randomly goes into heavy attacks. Not only one, but sometimes 2 or 3 heavy attacks. And the back-to-back heavy attacks are really hard to evade. So right here, I'm just using forward combos, dash back, so I can keep my distance, and he throws a heavy attack. So just there, I was able to evade that. Now, most of the time, if he has a special one, after the first evade on the heavy, he will throw an SP1. But there are times he just throws back-to-back heavy attacks, and that is a bit annoying to deal with. So right now, the battery is up to 229. I knocked him down, and look at that damage. I took him down to 10%. So I'm going to rinse and repeat that. Now, I assure you, this fight is not as easy as it looks. With Angela, this was my 43rd try. I don't even want to know how many tries I did on Crossbones. But I'll tell you once we get to that fight. So I hope this fight gives you a little bit of clarity. You build up that battery, and then you wait for Heimdall to throw a heavy attack. And that gives you, that removes the brace node. When the brace node is down, then you can use either an SP1 or an SP2 or even an SP3, and that will knock down Heimdall, drain the battery, and give him 200% damage of the stored damage. Now, if you get knocked down by his special attack or by his heavy attack, all of the damage is going to be drained and it will be applied on you, and you can die with one heavy attack. So that is going to be difficult to deal with. Now, if you're not Valiant, the first 2 objectives are done, you're good to go. You can move on to the She-Hulk one. But if you're Valiant, this is the 3rd objective. This is going to use a skill champion and a mercenary champion. Now, in my opinion, by far the best champion is Crossbones. One of 2 things. One, he gets that extra modified damage with those Furies that really helps ramp up the battery faster. Second, his SP2 spam also helps ramp up the battery faster, because when you knock him down, the battery is drained, but there's a lingering incinerate there. That incinerate also ramps up the battery faster. Now look at that, the incinerate is really taking up the battery already, and I haven't thrown any kind of special attack or a hit. Now once that is done, it's simple rinse and repeat. Let him throw that SP once and you evade those, and once you think you have high enough battery, you can interrupt the heavy attack right here, evade, one hit and back, and then throw your SP2, and then that damage is right there. Crossbones is pretty tough to deal with. This is my 75th attempt, guys. If you hear that right, this is my 75th attempt to take him down. It took me a better part of 2.5 hours to get this run going, so it is going to cost you revives. Don't just get what you see, that it took me only 1 or 2 tries. No, it took quite a bit, but I can share the knowledge that I gained through this fight. Use champions that have modified attacks to get that battery up faster, and keep Heimdall to an SP1, and you don't have to interrupt every heavy attack. You can keep building a battery as much as you want. Once you have enough battery built up, you can use that, and do not push to SP2, otherwise this happens. Look at that damage, I'm down to 44%. Now once he throws a heavy attack, I can interrupt it, and I can disable that brace node for 12 seconds, and when I use my special attack, the disable timer is paused. So right here again, 32% battery. I am also, while his SP1 animation is going on for Heimdall, I just dash back and I hold my block to get those extra Furies with that rundown. Again, building up my battery up to 39. I'm trying to spam SP2 as much as I can, so I can get those batteries up quicker. And that is the whole loop of the fight, guys. It is annoying, it's super difficult. Once you get the hang of it, once you get hang of the timing of the SP1s and the heavy attacks from Heimdall, and once you have to throw your special, you can get through the fight. Right? It took me 75 tries. I hope it's lesser for you. So here we are. I don't think I get a solo here. I still die at 1%, and that was my best run. So if it's a bit frustrating fight for you, that's okay. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the gauntlet when that comes in. There you don't have the champion restrictions, so it becomes a little bit easier to deal with. But remember, you have two ways that you can knock Heimdall down. First one is you interrupt the heavy attack, remove the brace node, and then you throw a special attack and you knock him down. Or second one is just let him throw those SP1s out and you build up to an SP3, and once you have enough battery, you just throw an SP3. You don't even have to worry about removing the brace node, because the SP3 will naturally knock him down and you're able to deal that damage. But I still prefer using my SP2s instead of SP3s. And just here, I thought I had him. I went all in, and still at 1% he killed me. So I had to revive, come back and take him out. And the final objective is going to be Deathless She-Hulk, where you are able to dupe your She-Hulk if you take Heimdall down. Now with She-Hulk, this fight is much more faster and a much more faster ramp up, because with all of those trauma debuffs, Heimdall is going to take more damage, and more damage means faster the battery. Now by this point, if you have done the other three objectives, you are very well adapted on how to evade his heavy attacks. So all you need to do is to keep building up that battery and just keep evading those heavy attacks. And if you have an SP3, you can throw that out when you have more than 100 battery. For me personally, I think I've tried to go up to 125, 150 battery before I knock him down the first time, just to get a good chunk of damage in. Now here he has 11 trauma, so with one hit I'm getting 20 battery at a time. So I'm already one hit combo, and I'm already up to 46 battery saved up. So this is where the fun starts. Also, I will try blocking, let him throw a heavy attack, because I have 2 bars of power, and with 2 bars of power he does do quite a bit of She-Hulk does do quite a bit of damage when you throw that out with all the trauma charges. So again, waiting for the heavy attack. Now I didn't have to remove the brace because I had an SP3, and I just used it, and look at that, damage is down to 66%. And with the constant specials, the traumas will keep refreshing, and I can very quickly build up the battery. So this fight is much more manageable with She-Hulk. If you are a really amazing She-Hulk player like MSD, you can literally build up to battery to 300, and just 2 knockdowns will be enough. But if you're not somebody like me, you'll have to play it really slow. So I was able to bring him down eventually and get all 4 objectives done. It took better part of like 4 hours for me to get all the objectives done, and the longest and the most frustrating one was Crossbones, but in then I got it done. So if you're going to use some revive, that's okay. Take your time in the beginning, do it like 30-40 tries if the fight feels harder. Try to get the timing on the heavy attack down, because that is going to make or break your fight. There will be many frustrating times when you will try to evade the heavy, but you won't be able to, or you will throw 2 heavies all together and it'll be difficult to get through them. But once you have the heavy timing down just like that, then the fight is much more manageable. So I'm going to use an SP3 here at 146 battery. That should drain it up and do all the extra damage to Heimdall and bring him down to 20 to 24%, and rinse and repeat. I should be able to take him out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, all 15 minutes of it. It's a very frustrating fight. If you have any questions, let me in the comment section down below. I would suggest you to start this with the Mystic and 2020 with Dragon Manor Sorcerer Supreme, so you have at least 1 win under the belt, and then you should be good after that. I hope to see you on the next video. See you next time. Bye.